I just looked at the latest information on Tropical Storm Harvey. I almost said hurricane because it's practically a hurricane. It already has an eye. Air pressure is down to 982 millibars as of the last advisory. And there's a new reconnaissance aircraft flying into Harvey. It's mission number 13, I believe. And I believe they will find air pressure in the 970s now with 70 to 75 mile per hour winds. It's either going to be a strong tropical storm or minimal hurricane in the next advisory. And I think it's going to rapidly intensify because there are very strong thunderstorms wrapping in around the center. And I would not be surprised if it goes from a Category 1 to a Category 4 by tomorrow morning. I would not be surprised if we get a Category 5 at landfall. Or, not at landfall, but if it gets to Category 5 status, and then weekends maybe to strong Category 4, right at landfall. So it's just an accident. Well, actually, no, guy just stopped short. Didn't want to pass the red light. But that was one wicked break. Okay, anyway, back to the storm. I think we're going to get a major hurricane at landfall. I mean, yeah, they're saying Cat 3. I think it's going to be a Cat 4. I think we're going to get a 150 mile an hour hurricane at landfall. And I would not be surprised, as I said just a second ago, if we get a Category 5. You know, if it blows up rapidly to a Cat 5, like what Patricia did last year in the Pacific, or the other year, 2015. I think we're going to get a very, very rapidly intensifying storm in the next 12 to 24 hours. It's already rapidly intensifying now, but I think by the 5 p.m. advisory, we're going to be talking about a Cat 2, and perhaps a Cat 3 by the 11 p.m. advisory. I thought it was just going to become a Cat 1 by 11 p.m., but the way the thunderstorm just wrapped around the center, I think we're going to have a major hurricane later today. Forecast is for Corpus Christi for a devastating hurricane to hit Texas coast, potentially the strongest since the Galveston hurricane of 1900 or Hurricane Allen. This might be worse than Allen, folks. This might be a devastating hit for coastal Texas, and the worst part might not even be the wind, but the rain. We might be talking about horrible storm surge flooding. Corpus Christi to just north of Corpus Christi, about 50 miles, right for Quadrant. You're going to get tornadoes in northeast of the center. I don't think there are going to be a lot of tornadoes, but you'll get a handful that could do a lot of damage and destruction, especially in northeast Texas. But the worst part, I think, will be the lingering 20, 30, 40, perhaps even 45 inches of rain in some isolated pockets. Remember, Allison was a tropical storm and it dumped 3 feet of rain in one place. It's going to be worse than Allison, especially since it's going to do that loop. It could go back in the Gulf, briefly re-strengthen back into a tropical storm, maybe even become a minimal hurricane again. But the waters will be kind of churned up, so it'll be a little cooler. My expectations is for a devastating strike along the central Texas coastline in the next 48 hours. Category 5 conditions are possible, so please evacuate. It's not going to be a Cat 3 like what they're saying now. Last night the models are saying it's going to be as strong as maybe a Cat 1. Now a couple of models are saying Cat 3. I'm thinking, this is my forecast, based on what is going on right now in the storm, I can conclude we're going to get a Category 4, perhaps. There's a likelihood of a Cat 5, a small likelihood of a Cat 5 making landfall later on Friday. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.